The Galactic Council chamber gleamed with crystalline architecture, its walls pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that spoke of centuries of diplomatic tradition. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood at the human delegation's platform, her dark hair pulled back in a professional bun, her expression carefully neutral as the Valkorian ambassador droned on about mutual understanding and shared prosperity. Beside her, Lieutenant Marcus Webb shifted his weight, his military bearing evident despite the formal diplomatic attire. He'd been assigned as her security detail for this historic summit, the first time humanity would sign a formal peace treaty with the Valkorian Empire after 3 years of border skirmishes. The Empire extends its hand in friendship, Ambassador Dekvar announced, his reptilian features arranged in what passed for a smile among his species. Let our peoples move forward together. Sarah felt something cold settle in her stomach. The words were right, but the energy in the room felt wrong. She'd negotiated with 17 different species during her diplomatic career, and her instincts had kept her alive through more than one close call. We accept your terms, she said carefully, watching the assembled delegates. The Valkorians numbered 12 in the chamber, far more than necessary for a simple treaty signing, and look forward to lasting peace between our peoples. The holographic document materialized between them, written in 17 languages simultaneously. Sarah reached forward with the neural stylus, her signature flowing across the human section in streams of light. Vekvar's claw touched the opposite side. The treaty blazed bright, then solidified, officially recognized by the Council's ancient systems. Applause rippled through the chamber. Representatives from the Andromedan Coalition, the Plex Collective, and dozens of other civilizations expressed their approval. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. That's when Marcus grabbed her arm. Ma'am, something's the energy weapon's discharge cut through the applause like a thunderclap. Sarah felt Marcus shove her sideways, his body moving between her and the source of the blast. The shot took him in the back, and she watched in horror as her security officer crumpled to the polished floor. Time seemed to slow. Sarah dropped beside Marcus, her hands already moving to assess the damage. The blast had burned through his jacket, cauterizing as it went, but the wound was deep. His breathing came in ragged gasps. Treachery, Lekvar hissed, but Sarah caught the briefest flash of satisfaction in his eyes before he schooled his features to shock. The chamber erupted in chaos. Delegates scattered, security forces converged, and weapons that should never have made it past the Council's scanners suddenly appeared in Valkorian hands. Sarah's mind raced, cutting through the panic with surgical precision. The peace treaty had been a trapper way to get humanity's lead ambassador in a room with minimal security, surrounded by enemies. They'd wanted her dead, wanted to decapitate Earth's diplomatic cause in one swift strike. They'd shot Marcus in the back. Something ancient and primal surged through Sarah's veins. Not panic, not fear, rage. You promised peace, she said quietly, her voice cutting through the chaos with unexpected force. She rose slowly, her hands stained with Marcus's blood. You looked us in the eye, spoke words of friendship, and then shot an unarmed man in the back. Lekvar's translator struggled with her tone, something in the human voice that didn't quite match known emotional patterns. A rogue element, he began. We had no liar. The word hung in the air like a blade. Sarah took a step forward, and despite being outnumbered, despite facing weapons that could vaporize her in an instant, the Valkorians actually retreated. You want to know what makes humans dangerous? Sarah continued, her voice rising. It's not our weapons. It's not our ships. It's that we remember every slight, every betrayal, every single time someone looked us in the eye and lied. She pointed at Marcus's fallen form. That man trusted you. We all trusted you. And you shot him in the back because you thought we were weak. That we would accept this. That we would simply move on. The Council chamber's security systems were coming online, sealing exits, identifying the Valkyrian conspirators. But Sarah wasn't finished. Humanity doesn't forget, Ambassador. We don't forgive those who shoot us in the back. We've fought wars that lasted generations over less. We've toppled empires who thought they could lie to us and walk away clean. She stepped closer to Lekvar, ignoring the energy weapons trained on her. You wanted to see what humans are made of. You're about to find out. Because that man on the floor, he's going to live. And when he wakes up, when Earth hears what happened here, you'll learn exactly why every species that's ever betrayed humanity has come to regret it. Behind her, she heard Marcus cough a wet, painful sound, but he was breathing. The Council's medical team was rushing in, their advanced technology already working to stabilize him. Lekvar's scales had paled to a sickly gray. Around the chamber, other ambassadors watched with a mix of horror and fascination. They'd all heard stories about human vindictiveness, about the species that had turned the concept of proportional response into an art form. They'd thought them exaggerations. "The treaty is void," the council arbiter announced, his multitonal voice resonating through the chamber. "The Valkorian Empire stands accused of the highest diplomatic crime, and humanity, .. double quotes." He paused, his ancient eyes finding Sarah. "Humanity has the council's full support in whatever response they deem appropriate." Sarah didn't smile, didn't show triumph. She simply nodded and turned back to Marcus, kneeling beside him as the medics worked. "Hang on," she whispered. "Just hang on. They're going to regret this, Marcus. I promise you that." As they loaded him onto the medical transport, Sarah caught sight of the Valkyrian delegation being taken into custody. Vekvar met her eyes one last time, and she saw something she recognized, the same thing humans felt when they realized they'd made a terrible, irreversible mistake. Fear. They'd promised peace. Then they'd shot a human in the back. Now they would learn what that truly cost.